but soft. What light from yonder window breaks? It is the east, and my DeLonghi is the sun. Hello, everybody. Yes, there's a few differences around here in these here parts. One is the top. One is what I'm wearing around my neck. Yeah, and the other thing, before we get to that, the top. I needed to take a photograph of me for somebody on YouTube that's working on in the background, shall we say. Please let me surprise you. Please let me surprise you. I'm looking forward to it, and I really hope that you will enjoy it when it happens. I really, really do. So I decided when I went to my drawer, and I took a look at what was in the drawer, and I'm like, oh, what can I put on? What can I put on? And this top was in it. And I got a few items of clothing from a shop here in Australia, specifically Western Australia, that's called Dale & Waters. And their clothes are great for big ladies, but they're really expensive. Oh, boy. Oish. The equivalent would be Lane Bryant. I've been to the States many times. My mother, as you know, you've seen her, she was a big lady. And we always used to buy up real big when we were there. And it was off to Lane Bryant any chance we could get. And, yeah, I miss that shop. But by all accounts, even though I could probably order to here, their prices have gone up just a little bit. Just a wee bit. And besides, I need to sort of keep that cost down a bit if I'm being honest, because I don't want to buy a whole new wardrobe every time I've lost 20 kilos, because that is the reality. It is the reality. So I don't mind the odd occasional top, because they're not quite as expensive as full-blown outfits. So that's all good. So I went to the drawer and I picked this out because it was screaming at me, put me on, put me on. And I'm like, I touched the material and I held it up. I'm like, no, that ain't going to fit. I was utterly convinced. I put it on and, well, I was wrong. Very, very wrong. It not only fits, it's stretchy material, okay? I mean, it is a big size. It not only fits, but it doesn't stretch to fit me, if that makes any sense. I'm like, okay, was this something that I got from Dale Waters? Turns out, no. It was my husband who said, no, it was that top and that one that's in the drawer. Your mother-in-law bought you those. I'm like, oh, okay. So I remembered her buying one of the other ones. That really won't fit me yet. It will eventually. But I didn't remember her coming over with this. So I'm going to put that down to brain fog. Just saying. Just saying. But lo and behold, it fits. And it's not from Dale Waters. I'm like, what? Okay. So that was nice. the other thing that's changed, obviously, is what I'm wearing around my neck. It is a Celtic cross. Now, I do know that me wearing a pentacle has unnerved some people, and I appreciate that, obviously. It's fair. It is fair. In terms of the Celtic cross, it is quite possibly the perfect mix between my belief system and Christianity. It is the perfect blend. Because originally it represented the 4 elements: water, fire, air, earth. But it was the Irish that picked that up to make it their own for the Celtic cross and Christianity. So it is the perfect blend of, these glasses, am I right? Always falling down because the face has lost weight. Drive me nuts. So what I do want to let you guys know in terms of my beliefs, okay? I don't feel comfortable talking about my belief system, but I will say this, that I do believe in something bigger than me, because there has to be something out there that keeps all of this together, that keeps us together up here and in here. And that to me is the most important thing. It's like, yeah, there is a bigger force out there keeping this whole show together, if you like. And that is what I believe in. And whether that be God or any other religion, believing in something that's bigger than you, that transcends beyond you as a person, that has to be the most important thing. And that is important for me. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I hope people will understand what I'm trying to say by not saying it. I know it sounded a bit strange, but there you go. So the other thing that's changed around here is 1,000 subscribers and 3,000 viewing hours. Yep, it's a coffee moment. Apart from thank you, I honestly don't know what else I could add, because all I've done to the best of my ability is be brutally honest. And I've just been me, and I can only put that out there. But you guys have taken this content, wrapped it up in your own worlds, and embraced it. And it has blown my mind. And it's like 2 months. 2 months. I will always be grateful for those milestones. You can definitely put the 1,000 subscribers and 3,000 viewing hours. That's definitely in the non-scale victory column, in my opinion. I'm very humbled by it. I actually cried quite a bit. I had my 2 sons, while I was crying, come into the back window there going, yes! They do, they're younger generations, so they do understand the significance of it. Not only on a YouTube level or a technological level, they fully understand what that means on my level, in my heart. So I can only say thank you so much for that support. You're all champions, all of you. Gold class. That's all I can say about that. Right, let's get into the food. Let's get into the food. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these pictures that I've taken into like a little bit of a montage with some words. I mean, it's going to be very obvious what they are, but I thought that I would just, put the pictures in and put some words in to indicate what they are. Now, with the exception of the bubbly, which I'll put up there, that is, I kind of have it as a treat, if you like, because there's literally nothing in it. It's just taste. There's no nasties in it at all. Highly recommend. It was my savior because I went cold turkey off Pepsi Max, all those diet drinks with aspartame in them. I just went 1st of January, that's it, no more, done. I had my last glass on the 31st of December and that was it. Bang. Haven't touched the stuff since. Proud of that. I also changed the sweetener that I use in my coffee, and I've got a picture of that too. It's monk fruit. It's monk fruit. It took me roughly about 2 weeks to get used to the taste of the monk fruit because it is very different to those things like I know in America you've got Sweet and Low, those little pink packets. Yeah, I remember them. Yep, I've been there. And things like Equal and stuff like that. I can't do stevia. I may or may not have mentioned there aren't enough words in the dictionary to convey how much I cannot stand stevia. Ugh, yucky. So the lesser of all evils, if you like, is the monk fruit. And I don't feel that it spikes anything in terms of sugar cravings or anything like that. I haven't had that. Haven't had it. The coffee, I even took a picture of the coffee that I'm currently drinking, and it's from Costco. I'm not fussy about the coffee. The only fussy bit I am fussy about is espresso coffee. Has to be strong. I like strong coffee, and that's just how it is. I'm happy to keep coffee in my day because I've joyfully and gleefully given up everything else. And there are plenty of people who still drink coffee, much to the disgust of quite a few people in the carnivore community, and that's fine. That's okay. My attitude to that is you do you, I do me. And, there may come a time where I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling the coffee. Let's just stop that. That day may or may not come, and that's fine as well. So in addition to where cold drinks are concerned, I would have sparkling mineral water or lightly sparkling mineral water, put some ice in there. And I usually put in a great wad of the light salt in it, purely from the potassium point of view, because I now know I have to do that every day. Once a day at least, that first glass has to have that good dump of potassium in it, because what I've found is that if I go too long without it, something very disturbing happens at night. I feel like I can feel the nerve endings like ding, 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 in my legs specifically, and it's a pain in the butt. But if I take the potassium, I don't get it. I don't get that. So I'm like, righto, sweet. One of the things that I want to do next month is make my own electrolytes of the salt, magnesium, and potassium. I have looked at a recipe on Old Guy Carnivore's YouTube channel, and his recipe to me makes sense. He's done the maths, thank God, because I'm not good with math, unless it's a spreadsheet. Do love me a spreadsheet. But yeah, he's done all the maths and worked out the servings and stuff like that. And I mean, Could I buy Element? Yeah, I could. But for me here in Australia, for 30 sachets, it would cost me $65 a month. That's a lot of money. Now, I could probably spend the same amount on those 3 separate ingredients of the salt, magnesium, and potassium, and probably get about 250 servings out of it. I mean, like I said, I don't do math, but that kind of math kind of... Oh, hello. Oh, you're the obvious answer, are you? Righto. Hi, nice to meet you. You know, it's not to say that Element isn't great. It probably is. If I was ever going to have Element, I could only ever have the raw Element because they use stevia in their sweetened ones. And we know how I feel about stevia. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that, you know. The only other things that have been different is that, you know, last week I was craving shrimp. I'm like, Herbs, does they have like trays of shrimp at Costco? Oh, yes, he says. Would you like a tray? He said. I'm like, maybe. So he brought me a tray. And, I mean, it wasn't one of those round circular things that I've seen people get. It was a decent tray. And I devoured about half of it for dinner. I was like, oh my God. It was like, I only have shrimp. And I don't crave seafood very often. But when I do, oh my God, head for the hills because the woman's going in. But I had about half of that for my dinner. And the next day, my sons had maybe 2 each. My husband maybe had a couple. Whatever was left, I actually put in the air fryer with some butter and heated them up and just had them for breakfast. Now, talking of breakfasts, I know I've mentioned that, like, within the first week of starting Carnivore, it became really apparent very, very quickly that 2 meals a day was going to get real old real fast. And I'd say in 8 weeks, I've probably had breakfast 7 days out of 8 weeks. I am, for the most part, 1 meal a day. That's it. So the servings you're going to see in these pictures, that is my 1 meal that I have every day. Anywhere between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. If it's beyond 8 p.m., I get the poops here at home. I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of waiting for you to cook it. I'm going to cook it myself. Because, you know, once I finish eating at, say, like 8 o'clock at night, for example, the only thing I'll actually drink is the bubbly water or mineral water. And so that's me for food until anywhere between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. the next day. I am not hungry. Case in point, I don't know if anybody has seen Dr. Ken Berry's 3 million subscriber video. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. There is one little section in there where somebody who is interviewing him asks him, what did you have for breakfast? And I was like, I know what he's going to say. Nothing. And that's exactly what he said. I honestly can't explain it. And I've analysed it. I thought, okay, now hang on. Do I not want to have 2 meals because I'm too lazy? Because there's always that, you know? Or is it because I'm just genuinely not hungry? And however much I analysed that, I'm like, no, I'm just genuinely not hungry. So you go with it. Will there be times in the next few weeks where I might fancy a couple of pork bellies for breakfast? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll go with it. I'll listen to my body, and if it needs it, I'll do it. But for the most part, 1 meal. So this little montage is going to be the meals that I have. And for the most part, that's it. So enjoy having a look at the photographs of what I eat. So there you go. That is pretty much, with the exception of the tomahawk steak, that was a one-off. Would I love to have a tomahawk steak every night for dinner? Oh, who wouldn't? That was the most incredible cut of meat I have ever had. That's the king of cuts. That was just beautiful. Even my husband had a taste. Him like, oh my God. The kids had there was enough. There was enough. And would you believe I only just got through it? Only just. That was big. With the exception of the tomahawk and the shrimp, what I eat is just basically a variation of all of those other things, like steak and eggs, steak with the pork belly bacon that's baked within an inch of its life, because I love that crunchy fat taste. Sometimes I want that. Roast pork. Haven't had a lamb in ages because I've kind of gone off the lamb a little bit for the moment. And chicken's not in the mix at the moment because I've outright gone off it completely. I cannot eat it. I just can't. So it is basically beef, bacon, eggs, pork, and butter. That's what I eat. That's it. Yeah, so I don't know what else to say. That's what I eat, and that's what I drink, and that is it. It's any or all of combination of all of those things. Although I do think shrimp's going to be in the mix a little bit more often, if I'm being honest, because yeah, the craving's there still. It's not been satisfied. I'm craving shrimp. So it's the seafood and it's the whatever vitamins and minerals are in shrimp. That's what the body's like going, hello, can you just give me whatever's in the shrimp, please? You need the shrimp. Have the shrimp. Have the shrimp. So yeah, I have a feeling that's going to happen again in the next week. Oh, well. Okay, so I think that's it for now. I hope this gave you the information that you wanted. If you have any questions whatsoever, drop them in the comment boxes below. I'll be happy to answer them all. Absolutely would be over the moon to answer any questions that you may have. Just remember, I'm not a doctor. I can only impart my knowledge based on what I know, such that it is. So if in doubt, go to the doctor's channels and type in the keyword, and chances are something will come up that will answer your question. But if I can help in any way, please let me know. I'd be happy to do that. So Monday's weigh-in day, measurements day, all the things day. I will sign off like I always do. Remember to be kind to those around you and protect your peace. Don't take any crap and be kind to yourself.